Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Kicking with the Crew. It's your boy Leroy. Got my guy Matt here with me, man. Hope everybody's having a great weekend out there so far, man. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, man. Sorry, guys, I'm in the wrong colors tonight, but Phillies game's on, so let's go Phillies.
There you go. You got to represent your guys. I'm all for it, man. You got a team in the playoffs. Definitely got to be happy for them. If my weak ass Giants could do anything, I'd be rocking their gear, but that's a different story. So definitely with you, rocking with your guys, man. Yeah. So the streak is over, man. No more undefeated. The Colts lose to the Rams 27-20 in Los Angeles, man. We are officially 3-1. Um it was a I'd say a pretty decent game. I thought the Colts played pretty well. Obviously, we had some blunders and some mistakes that kind of cost us. Matthew Stafford was being Matthew Stafford, one of the best to ever play the game, man. He was out there balling Puka Nakua. So shout out to the Rams, man. They did their thing, did what they were supposed to do. But at the end of the day, came down to three turnovers by the Colts that really cost us, and ended up having us lose that game, man. So what's your thoughts? How you feeling on the game this past Sunday?
My first thoughts is everybody needs to get off AD Mitchell's back, man. To be completely honest, yeah, sure, he dropped the ball. We lost 7 points on that. We had plenty of opportunities afterward to still, take the lead and run away with the game, but we had a couple drives that just kind of stalled. And then obviously the penalty. I mean, to be fair, you can call a holding on any play. So everybody needs to get off AD Mitchell's back. Now, I just wanted to start off with that, man. He's young. He's going to make those type of mistakes. It wasn't like he was trying to do anything crazy. Ball just slipped out of his hand. So, but other than that, man, Puka did his thing. I kind of expected Puka to do his thing. I kind of expected our turnover streak to end. Um, the game kind of went the way I wanted or I expected it to. I did expect us to come with a win, even with the mistakes that were made. So.
Yeah, it was definitely a tougher one, man. Got a few comments coming in here. Nathan talking about Puka made Howard retire. AD Mitchell got to redeem himself this week. Patrick Housefield looks like a new commenter. I don't think I've seen that name before. Who are you asking about their score predictions? What's up, Tressa? Appreciate you coming in. But yeah, man, like you said, definitely think that people need to get off AD. Obviously, it's fair criticism, but we talked about this on the show and in our chat before. It's the mental mistakes with him. We see how talented the guy was. Crazy play he made, like beating a guy, two guys at that, catching the ball, spinning 180, and just going for 80 yards, man. And the ball slips out of his hand as he's trying to hold up the the ball there, man. But it's a tough one. It sucks because it ends up, keeping us from getting a win. And then obviously with the holding, I get it, but I do agree with you. But it's just one of those tough things where people, you want to lay off a little bit on the younger guy. Obviously, I get it, but a lot of the people that overreact and think you got to relax a little bit. The talent is there. We just need him to, be more consistent and not make those mental mistakes.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it boiled down to, man. A lot of people were saying cut him, bench him, but honestly, with AP being out, I don't know how you do something like that to a player like AD Mitchell, man. Like he made a huge play. He made other plays in the game. He's made plays all year, and cutting a guy like that over something like that is kind of crazy to me. Like, let him learn from it, let him bounce back. He's still a talented guy. I'd rather have him in there than Ashton Doolin, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. I've definitely seen some Ashton Doolin get him out there and stuff like that. I'm not with that at all. I think it's just crazy. Obviously, you don't want those kind of mistakes that could cost you games and stuff like that. But I just think it's crazy to want to take that kind of talent. Like, what have we said for the past few years all the time about us lacking talent, and then we want
Yeah.
to instantly just you see a mistake and it's get this guy off the field. Like what are we talking about? That's insane. You don't want to take away that talent. Obviously, you want to get the mistakes down. You don't want to just let things slide. But it's crazy to just want to get rid of a talent like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at our roster. Who else would have made a play like that on the outside?
Exactly what I said. I'm like, dude, it's crazy to sit there and want to just throw them away like that. That's insane to me. But yeah, I've been missing it. I want to say I don't know if I came late last week or the week before, but I was trying to do a little rundown on each score before each week, but I'm going to jump into it a little bit just to catch folks updated who don't necessarily follow each game or every score. But the Seattle Seahawks beat the Cardinals 23-20. The Steelers beat the Vikings 24-21. I believe that was overseas in, I think it was Australia. Was it Germany?
Dublin.
Was it Dublin, Ireland? My bad. The Commanders lost to the Falcons 34-27. The Giants upset the Chargers 21-18. The Houston Texans shut out the Tennessee Titans 26-0. That was a very ugly game
for both teams. Don't look at that score and be like, "Oh, Houston's great." Both teams were ugly.
Both. Philadelphia Eagles beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-25. That was a really good game. The Saints lost to the Buffalo Bills 31-19. That game was a lot closer than most people would have thought of. Patriots washed the Panthers 42-13. Cleveland Browns lost 34-10 to the Detroit Lions. The Jacksonville Jaguars keep a tie with us in the division, beating the 49ers 26-21. The Bears beat the Las Vegas Raiders 25-24. Chiefs beat the Ravens 37-20. Packers and the Cowboys actually tied 40-40. I believe that was the largest tie in NFL history. Dolphins beat the Jets 27-21. The Bengals beat the Bengals lost to the Denver Broncos 28-3. And we open up week 5, 49ers versus the Rams, who won. The 49ers won 26-23. So it was a great slate of games. And like Matt said, the two divisional games that we saw out there this past weekend, the Titans and the Texans, that game was very sloppy and ugly. Titans need all around kind of work. I'm still surprised that the Titans didn't fire their coach. And as for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the 49ers, I know I had disagreed with Matt and Zach and those guys in the chat on the Jacksonville Jaguars. But they're looking pretty good, and they got that win over the 49ers, and their defense is really solid. So just a little update on how the division is doing. But we are currently tied with the Jags at 3-1 for first place. Texans finally get their first win versus Tennessee, 1-3, and the Tennessee Titans sitting at the bottom at 0-4. Yeah, so let's get into the game real quick, man. Let me see, I had it right here just to jump into a little bit of a breakdown of it, man. So I know our score predictions. I think I think you changed to a win, right? Versus the Rams. I think Trev still had us at a loss. And Trev got the score pretty close. But man, this game was definitely in our hands. The game actually was pretty close to being our way. Kind of turned the tide after the A.D. Mitchell catch and run for 80 yards. Fumbles at the goal line, turnover on downs, took some points away from us there. That could have pretty much gotten the game out of hand and made it 27-13 at one point. Daniel Jones had his first turnover, took a deep shot to A.D. Mitchell in the first quarter. Didn't give him enough of a chance. It was kind of underthrown. That got picked off. And then Daniel Jones also had a fourth quarter interception that he said that he also had forced as well. Something that he didn't need, that he think he should have thrown. Because we had, I want to say it was a minute left with 2 timeouts. I think he kind of forced that throw as well. So obviously this game was kind of sloppy on our end. A lot of things that should have went our way. We just didn't play Colts football. Had too many mental mistakes, had some mental errors, as you brought up earlier. A.D. Mitchell on a block that should have been another JT. I believe it was like a 47-yard touchdown that got taken away. So a lot of things that we shot ourselves in the foot with, and really should have came out with a really big win there.
Yeah. a lot of the penalties, I mean, the one that really I think killed us was the Tyler Warren OPI, especially when it definitely was not OPI.
Stupid
That
call.
is the whole reason why our thumbnail was a flag. That one stole pretty much all momentum. But the game, I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about Daniel Jones, start negatively talking about him, like, because he threw 2 interceptions. To be completely honest, that first one, yeah, I'll give it to him. That was a bad throw, a little underthrown. But that last one, I mean, I don't know why we're calling 4 verticals with 3 timeouts and a minute some odd seconds left in the game, and then he's just trying to push the ball down the field. So we just got to bounce back,
JT
man.
wide open on a check down as well.
Yeah, he did, but it's just a week to bounce back, man. That's all this has got to be, and I think this is a perfect game to bounce back with.
I didn't even realize you had the same pen name as me as well.
Oh yeah,
that. Definitely the week to bounce back. Got some guys coming in here. Appreciate everybody coming in, man. Y'all jumping in the comments. Got the comments bumping early.
Yeah, they do.
Michael said we were going to beat the Raiders 31-17. Appreciate you, Demetrius, for coming in. Patrick, if you stick around to the end, that's typically when we get our predictions in. So we'll probably say those for later, man. So stick around. Or you can always go to YouTube and you can watch this back later if you don't have time to stick through the full thing. But appreciate you coming in either way. Michael said, I think Anthony should be used as a receiver. Let's not get crazy here. He's our backup quarterback. So if Daniel Jones goes down, we need him to play QB.
Yeah, that one. We're not even willing to trade him, let alone put him as a tight end or a receiver or whatever.
Yeah, definitely not. They said he left 14 freaking points off the board. He didn't need to hold on to that. JT run. I mean, it's a tough one because when you say he took 14 points off the board, it's like if it wasn't for him, 7 of those points would have never been there, for one. For two, I get the hold. He had bad technique on it, but at the same time, I mean, if he doesn't hold the guy, a lot of times the reason those runs break free is because a guy is holding. So,
I mean, you also got to look at the amount of drives that stalled out, man. We can't just put the loss on him because he 14 points came off the board because of some mistakes he made. I mean, the game, we scored. What the heck was the score? What was it? 20. What did we lose by? 27-20.
Yeah, 27-20.
Yeah. That just shows we had so many drives that we could have scored on. So many.
Exactly.
And we didn't. We stalled out, 3-and-outs. I think we had our first 3-and-out of the season or our second 3-and-out of the season.
And we punted 3 times.
Yeah, and we punted 3 times. We had 2 interceptions. We had a play at the end of the game, defensively where we had 10 men on the field. So Xavier Howard couldn't cover a pile of shit if he was a fly. And it's just – things happen, and like some of you guys said in here already, I don't know where they are. They might be down a little further, but linebackers weren't filling gaps. Kyron Williams was having a field day. You had some miscues, man, and then Matthew Stafford was Matthew Stafford making no look throws, things like that, and Nick Cross getting watching his eyes go in the opposite way. So
there's plenty of points to go around.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah. So definitely hear you, but it'll happen. Young guys make mistakes, most definitely. Trust is basically saying the same thing here. He'll bounce back. Zach is saying here, Shaq is back. Glad he's retiring to the Colt. You don't think they put Shaq in the Ring of Honor? I don't think he's close to that type of love, but he's still a memorable Colt. I think absolutely. I think he's not a Ring of Honor guy. He should have the most love. I mean, I put on my jersey just for him for tonight. Like you
gotta think not even just what he did on the field, but the massive movement he created with kicking the stigma. That's what he started. That was his thing. He started it. It's a huge thing in Indy, and I know other cities are starting to adapt it too. So I mean, he's done a lot more. Not just on the field, but off the field as well. I do.
Dude got cut. Dude got cut and went to go give out turkeys in the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Same day.
And answered questions the same night. Like,
yeah.
If there's anybody deserving of horseshoe honor, it's Shaq. should like one of the greatest Colts of all time, and he should definitely was on his way to well being one of the greatest players to ever play. I think so. Um, what up, my guy Nick? He's saying Street saying Chiefs on upset alert. He's a Jags fan. Appreciate you coming in.
I could see that. I could see that. Looking at Jacksonville's defense, the way they're forcing turnovers. I mean, at first I was like, they're not playing that great at teams. They're forcing turnovers, but they've been doing it week in, week out, and it's not just one turnover every week. It's two, it's three, it's four, it's blocked punts, it's returned punts. Like that offense might not be the greatest looking offense, but they've got a hell of a
everything else
and a hell of a special teams. So. And people always say defense wins championships, and that defense is that's what's got me scared about Jacksonville.
Absolutely, completely agree. Trista says, been a big week here in Indy. Howard retired, Pish still out. We lost our former
backup.
B marks. Backup? Lost our former B mark.
I think she's saying Mark Sanchez was our backup at one point.
Was he?
I think he was.
What?
It was like long time ago. I think.
I'll never remember Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. But I do think he was.
All right. Well, he was supposed to announce the game as well. He got arrested, got stabbed and arrested. Won't be at the game as our former QB. Oh yeah, she is saying our former backup. I don't know all the information allegedly, but I heard he got into a fight with somebody, and that's what broke that out. But yeah, so we'll see.
No, he didn't. He never played for the Colts.
Okay, that's what I thought. I don't remember that.
No.
Trish says, "Where's Trev? He's out with his lady tonight. He might be able to make it in. Not too sure, but we'll see."
They went out of town for dinner. She wanted to go to some restaurant.
Yep. Dave said, "Jinty could be a problem. Our run D numbers look better than they are because the Rams threw all day versus X, and Miami and Tennessee had abandoned it."
So I agree with this, and I think it's going to be their main focal point. But they don't have an offensive line that can block like they did, with the Rams when Kyren Williams had a good game. So our run D numbers didn't look that great against him. When he was running the ball, he was running it. Genty is one of the running backs that's getting hit in the backfield almost every time he touches the ball. But the problem is that he's breaking.
He's tough to tackle.
Yeah. And with now, if y'all aren't tracking, Brock Bowers has been ruled out for tomorrow. I definitely see. No, he's ruled out.
No way, really?
Yeah, Brock Bowers was ruled out.
Oh shit!
You better go check your fantasy team.
No, I didn't have him, but I thought he was supposed to play.
No, so he practiced Wednesday. Or he didn't practice.
He didn't practice Wednesday.
He practiced Thursday in a limited situation, and then Friday he didn't practice, and then today they ruled him out.
Oh, last was updated. Still says he was questionable. Oh, that's not even the. Oh wait, yeah, it is.
I mean, I saw it earlier.
Either way, we'll find out. But yeah, I mean, to me, I do hear you on the Jinty of it all. But before last week's game, he was averaging like 3.1 yards per carry. And like Matt said, he didn't really have an offensive line, and they got even more hurt. I think this was more so just bad tackling by the Bears, in my opinion. Obviously, I do think Jinty's a tough tackle, but, to Matt's point as well, Kyren Williams had a pretty big day. I want to say he was at like 5.6 yards per carry or something like that. But him and Kyren Williams together was at a 4.4 total yards per carry. So I think we stopped him when it was needed. I'm not necessarily worried on that front. You look at the Raiders' offensive line, the way that they blocked, and Geno Smith still threw 3 interceptions. So I don't know how much the Raiders are going to stick to the running game. I don't see it as something that it'll be the biggest problem for us. I think we're built a little bit differently than the way the Bears would have liked to play. So I mean, it could be a problem. I just wouldn't think it's going to be more a concern for me. It's going to be more so those 2 receivers for the Raiders and Brock Bowers if he does play. Those are things that
Mark Sanchez is not listed to ever play for Indy anywhere.
Yeah, I never thought he did. Tressa brings up and another former player. Yeah, Arthur Jones passed away, 39 years old. Definitely was hurting to hear that, man. Uh, Nathan said, "All I'm saying is biggest weakness on defense is the linebackers against the run. Got to fix it." Um,
We also have a
I think.
backup.
Yeah, I was just about to say that as well. I was about to say Bachi definitely has got to read some stuff better, but I think it's also on the defensive line. The defensive line got to put more pressure on those running the games and just take it off of the linebackers, just creasing those holes and then making sure guys aren't getting lanes to run through. So making sure offensive linemen are getting to that second level. Yeah, Dave said they still got Mayer over there, Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer, he's all right. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm overly concerned with Michael Mayer either. Definitely think a good player, but I don't think
my main concern about the Raiders in general is Max Crosby, and that's that's as far as my concern goes.
Yep. And then this is just a little breakdown that I had here for everybody because there was a lot of panicking Colts fans, and I really don't understand why. So, for one, if anybody would have told you by the end of October we'd be going, or the end of September we'd be going into October at 3-1, almost no Colts fan would be like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
I don't think any of us had us predicted at that.
Like we would be shocked for that to be our record.
I think the best we all had when we did our predictions was 2-2.
All of us was 2-2, and that was us hoping that we would win week 1, which we haven't won in 14 years. So
yeah,
it was like crazy to even think that. So we were thinking like we could start 1-3 possibly. So there's that. Then I found this little stat pull up here. This is from M Green at M Green NFL. And he just pulled up a bunch of stats here. So Indianapolis, for the first time since 2020, is 3-1, right? And through 4 weeks, this team is first in yards per play, 6.5. First in red zone attempts, 4.8. First in halftime points per game, 17.5. First in yards per attempt, Daniel Jones, 8.9. First in field goals per game, 3.3. First QB grade, Daniel Jones, 79.1. First in rushing yards, Jonathan Taylor, 414 yards. First in ball carrier speed, 22.3 miles an hour. First in receiving tight end yards, Tyler Warren, 263. Second in first down per play. Second in yards per completion. Third in defensive grade with Laiatu Latu. Third in rushing TDs with Jonathan Taylor. Third in passing yards. Third in time to throw. Third in passing blocking grade. Fourth in points scored. Fourth in total yards per game. Fourth in scoring margin. Fourth in points in
it just keeps going.
It's just ridiculous. All of these stats are top 10, and we are panicking as a fan base because we are 3-1. We've played the Rams.
We've also played a top 5 defense in the Denver Broncos. We played a probably top 5, top 4 team in the NFL as a whole in the LA Rams. Made mental mistakes and still had a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any room for panic. And then you look at our next few games scheduled. What is it? We got the Raiders tomorrow. We got the Cardinals at home. Then we go back to LA to play the Chargers, who are hit or miss. You never know what Herbert you're going to get. And then we have Tennessee again.
Exactly. So for all the Colts fans out there panicking, I think we gotta relax a bit. Like I just think it's crazy that so many had overreacted to this game when we absolutely beat ourselves is the craziest part.
Not to mention, you sent that other graphic the other day. You sent it in the chat where we are one of 3 teams in the NFL that are in the plus point differential for every quarter in the games.
Winning football.
Every quarter.
Winning football.
We're outscoring teams in every single quarter.
Exactly. So I just think it's a little hyperbolic for us as Colts fans, and this is why I always tell people, like, sometimes I just feel like we have the worst fan base, the way people will overreact and get pissed off to things. And it's just like there is so much more to be done. Like, okay, I get it. We dropped the game. It's irritating. You get pissed off, especially when you have to overthink for the rest of the week. Like, damn, if we didn't do this, damn, if we didn't do that, damn, if we didn't do this, and we beat our damn selves in the game. That's the best part, to be 3-1 and to know you have something that you can correct and get better. That just makes it that much easier to move on to the next week and be able to bounce back, get a win, and get back on the streak, man, and really start to prove that we are one of these teams that can not just win the division, not just make the playoffs, but actually possibly go on a run deep into the playoffs. So, like I said, and there was still another page of stats that I could have kept reading off. We are top 10 in so many categories. We just got to fix a few things, man, and we can keep it rolling.
No, 100%. And the fans that are panicking, it's a little crazy to me. Like, I agree 100%.
All right. Yeah. So we got to a lot of offense. Let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. I will tell you right now, I was a little disgusted. I can't say distraught, but I would say a little irritated by the game plan that we went into with this game. We all know I wanted Lou Anarumo. Thought he was the best DC that was going to be available for us. I thought it was going to be a great fit for us and what we needed. But I was so irritated by this game. I couldn't absolutely believe that we sat there and let Pua Nakua just straight beat us to sleep for four quarters and thought that we could put a number 2 corner on him by himself throughout that game.
Especially a 32-year-old.
Exactly, who didn't even play last year. And then also, like you said earlier, you stated Kyron Williams was averaging about 5.7 yards per carry. Didn't like that from the run defense as well. But really, outside of that, in Davante Adams, he had a okay game. He had, I think it was 3 catches for like 30 yards and 1 touchdown, which there was a mental lapse on the defense. Matthew Stafford, as good as he is, he looked off Nick Cross and made Nick Cross jump a route that wasn't there at all. Nick Cross could have stood still and possibly had an interception. So that as well. How are you feeling about the defensive side of the ball and how we played that game? Not to mention having 10 men on the field in a 20-20 game with about 2 minutes left.
You know, we talked about it last week, and I even went back and listened to our show even after the game, and I was like, we literally talked about not having Xavier Howard anywhere near Puka. Anywhere near him. Me and Trev had a discussion about it where we wanted Ward to shadow Puka. And I know you were against it. You thought maybe, hey, if you put Puka on Davante and then you have, double team Puka, which that would have made sense, but we didn't even do that. We just left Xavier Howard over there by himself on an island, covering Puka all game. And Puka, I believe, went for 170 yards and just
2 tuds.
Yeah, just demolished us on every third down. It wasn't even like, first down, second down, they were winning, man. They were in 3rd and long a hell of a lot. And he was just getting to the sticks, getting wide open. And yeah, the 10 men on the field, missing a guy at the end of the game, that's inexcusable. I don't understand how that ends up happening, especially when we have 3 timeouts. Nobody noticed. You could have easily called a timeout in that situation. It was
right after a timeout, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, that does make it even worse. I didn't even realize there was a timeout there.
Yeah, it was after a timeout.
But the defense came up big in certain situations too, so we can't just sit and when AD dropped that ball at the end zone and they got the ball first down 25 or 20. Defense made a stop, 3 and out, forced them to have to punt. Then we punted, they punted, we punted, then we let them score. So the defense they did show up at times, especially in the second half. They kept trying to claw their way back from mistakes, but it is what it happened.
Yeah,
it was disgusting to watch.
Yeah, and absolutely to you guys' point, I do think back on that as well. And it wasn't like I didn't want Ward to guard Puka at all. It was just because of the fact that I thought they would move Puka so much that I didn't want Ward following them to the slot and then going back outside and just mixing it up and just changing it up a lot. And Puka played a lot more on the outside than I thought he was. So if that was going to be the case, then I would have agreed with you guys and been like, hey, put him with Puka. Like I wouldn't have wanted like
they. And when I was watching them, they were doing that on purpose. They were starting Puka in the slot. He was covered by someone else, and the moment he slid out was when he ended up being on Howard. And they kept having Howard.
When they saw Ward sticking to Adams, and they were like, "Oh, we got a matchup problem here."
They motioned him out every single time. They were forcing that hammer, man.
Yeah, it was sickening, just sickening. Because like we sat here and talked about it. I mean, it's pretty damn annoying because there's just no way in hell you sit here and just let Puka Nacua of all people. Like you could let like we let what was his name, Troy Franklin the other week. He went crazy. Like, hey, I'm fine with that. Let nobody do their thing because we're trying to make sure that the best player isn't kill us because that's the reason they're the best player. When the game is on the line, that other guy, he might mess up, he might slip, he might fumble, he might drop the ball, whatever the case may be. But at
Puka ain't gonna do that.
Puka's not gonna mess up when that time comes. He's going to continuously make those plays and bust your ass for 4 quarters.
I would look at the other side of the coin and say, the Rams are a team where you're kind of picking your poison. You've got Puka, you've got Devontae Adams, you've got Atwell. I don't know who their tight end was last week. Was it Higbee? Did Higbee even play?
Tyler Higbee.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, you kind of got to pick your poison there. But to me, I'm always going to try and stop Puka before I try and stop these other guys.
Completely agree. Trying to find that damn graph. Let's see.
Which one? The one you sent?
Yeah, the one I sent. David saying here, first and field goals need to go down a bit on the list, and absolutely agree. I think it's like you don't want to always have to kick field goals and stuff, but I think it's just something that we want to continuously be good at because if we're not kicking those field goals and getting points, then it ends up hurting you in the end if you can't get points. So completely agree, but I would say we need to convert those first downs into touchdowns. So.
Here we go. I have it here.
Okay. If you want to read off the numbers through each quarter.
So, first quarter, we're plus 16. Second quarter, we're plus 14. Third quarter, plus 6. Fourth quarter, plus 4.
So, basically, Davison, Matt, that's a cumulative on quarter scoring, right? No, so that's actually each quarter individually, not even adding them up. So, that's how much we're winning each quarter. So, each quarter, we are in the plus of how we're playing each game. By how we're outscoring each opponent, and it's just crazy to say that we're doing that, and we end up with the one loss to still be positive, which is why that fourth quarter number comes down this past week, just because we again could have won in the fourth quarter. So, it's just like I said, like if we don't beat ourselves, like I'm truly starting to believe in everywhere around in this team. Obviously, we need to get a little better. As you guys heard earlier in the show, Xavier Howard has retired. So now we're actually searching for a number 2 cornerback. And got to hope that Jalen Jones will be able to come back for us here hopefully pretty soon. We picked up a guy off the streets, forgetting his name right at the moment. We picked him up. And then we still got Mekhi Blackman, who will be corner 2 for the time being. But again, we just got to stop the lapses. I think we'll be okay as far as the secondary goes because I don't think it get much worse than what Xavier Howard was giving us. We need some other breakout players to just come along with the defense. And then hopefully we get Kenny Moore back as well, Jalen Carlisle. So we still got some time to get healthy as well.
Agreed.
Nathan says that's on Shane. He got to know it's 10 people on the field. Well, that's actually on his defensive coordinator, but Shane definitely got to know. I mean, it's just something that just can't happen. I mean, Lou Anarumo said it himself. He said, I know Shane said it's on him, but that's on me. Like, that shouldn't happen at the high school level, let alone the NFL. So they know that's crap. And, I mean, as much injuries and stuff that we've been dealing with, I don't want to make excuses for it. But we got to make up for it. Oh, my God. I see why you're making that face now.
Yeah.
It was 2-3 a minute ago.
Yeah, he just hit a home run, 3-run home run, five to
Dave said
three.
Schroeder been great this year. Trista says, so did y'all do your laundry early?
I think I did it too late. I went to the gym first, came back. I also woke up a little late, but then I went and I did my laundry after the gym. So I got my laundry done around like 12:30 and put all my clothes away. So I think I got to do it before the 10 o'clock games.
All right, so yeah, I think that'll do that for us. Let's go ahead and jump into this upcoming week versus the Raiders. So this was actually a very good. I don't know if I can say very good game, but it was a pretty decent game. It was a bit back and forth. Caleb Williams has gotten better as each week has kind of gone on, looking more like an NFL quarterback. Obviously, he's still doing some stuff Ben Johnson wants him to work out. But he ended up throwing for 212 yards versus this Raiders defense, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Geno Smith ended up having he was 14 for 21, so pretty accurate, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the problem is on only 3 of his 7 incompletions were interceptions. They were some actually really good interceptions by the Chicago Bears defense. Ashton Jeanty went for 21 carries, 138 yards. Brock Bowers though, only had 5 catches for 46 yards. Then we take it to those other receivers that I was telling you guys about. It's going to be Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker. They didn't have big days in this game, combined for 2 catches, or not 2 catches, 6 catches for 43 yards, averaging about 7 yards per catch. The 2 receiving TDs came from Ashton Jeanty. The Raiders actually almost won this game, but they lost on a blocked field goal. So that's how they ended up losing that game. So again, this Raiders offense hasn't looked great. Last week, Geno Smith, he really, kind of put the team in a hole. Max Crosby was an absolute madman in this game. He damn near wrecked it by himself. Caleb Williams called him the best defensive player he's ever played against in his life. So all around, it was kind of up and down for the Raiders, even though they probably could have walked away with a win if not for a blocked field goal. But how we feeling about Colts defense versus this Raiders offense coming up this week, as you just heard, with Geno Smith being up and down, Ashton Jeanty looking like he's starting to come along, and the Raiders receivers and Brock Bowers.
I just think this is a game where Lou needs to be in his bag to slow down the run. You slow down Jeanty, you're going to slow down this offense. It's as simple as that. Geno doesn't look as good as he has. He doesn't have the weapons that he's had in the past. So to be completely honest, slow down the run, you stop the Raiders. This could be. I personally think this could be a game as similar as it was to Tennessee. I don't really have much to say about their offense. It doesn't scare me.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty much with you. I think this is a game where the Colts just have to get back to being consistent. They be consistent. Don't turn over the football. Keep drives alive. Do what we've been doing, being one of the most efficient, effective offenses in the league. And then, as we somebody stated before with the field goals, got to start converting on these touchdowns. The Raiders actually have been one of the I want to say one of the best red zone defenses. I think they've given up maybe 1, maybe 2 red zone touchdowns. So this definitely would be the game that we probably wouldn't see our defense or offense tighten up in that red zone as much as we'd like to, but would love to see it anyway. But I just think that we can continue to force Geno Smith into these same mistakes that he's been making. And these were some great interceptions by the Chicago Bears, so I don't know if we can come away with 3 interceptions as they did. But at least just keep them off schedule, keep pressure on them. This offensive line is beat up. They're not playing very well. They just lost their best offensive lineman. Just keep attacking them, force them to make turnovers, and then obviously just control Brock Bowers what we can.
That's if Brock Bowers even plays.
That as well. So, yeah, definitely just keep them in control. Stay on them. Get a score early, and then just kind of force them to play catch up.
Yep. Agreed.
They said if we run the ball, we can slow Max down. Nathan's also saying we need to lean on JT more, 20 to 25 carries. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our side of the ball. Offense, man. The Colts offense versus Raiders defense, as I just said, they are very good red zone defense. They haven't given up many rushing touchdowns, as we've seen in, I believe, 2 games now. Jonathan Taylor ended up having 17 for 76 this past Sunday. In the 2 games, I want to say the one that we played with the Broncos, JT also did not have a crazy game that week as well. And that was our second closest game to a loss outside of our current loss. Is the fact that we really didn't have that run game going the way we would have liked to, albeit we did have the penalty that took some of those yards away in this past week. But obviously, yes, keep the run game going. This defense they're not very great, but they're really good in the red zone. So where are we at? Where are we feeling on this defense? And obviously the madman Max Crosby. Honestly, I hope the Raiders keep losing so we could trade for him, but that's a different question.
I mean, I agree with these guys in the comments, man. With Dave and Nathan, slow down a guy like Max Crosby. You have to run the ball. You got to do quick throws, quick schemes. RPO style offense. The similar offense that Frank likes to run. He's got to do that. Don't be trying to take deep shots right off the bat. And I hope to God he doesn't run the ball on the first play. Because that never starts off good for us. Let's go ahead and run that play action, get it to Tyler Warren off the edge. I could see a lot of bootlegs the opposite way of Max Crosby, kind of just to keep him ineffective. So just as long as you can make Max Crosby not wreck your game plan, I think you can really do anything.
Yeah, I would hope that we're getting Matt Goncalves back this week as well. I think he's slated to play this week, so that'd be nice to get our offensive line back completely healthy, get that continuity that we had back the first couple of weeks, keep guys off of Daniel Jones, and just make sure we keep that running game and offensive line going the way we need to. Obviously, with Matt Crosby, I think he's just a game record regardless of anything. He's one of these defensive ends that are good in the run, good in the pass, has a high motor, doesn't take plays off. So we're going to see him each and every single down. So I think it's going to be important to stress their defense like we've been doing, stay on the field, make him play a lot of plays, wear him down. Like you said, I don't think I would say just go away from him entirely, but kind of mix in some plays where we're running some of those motions and stuff that we do, get him confused, have him thinking, not just let him just either rush the passer or chase down inline runs, because we know JT likes to be patient with some of his runs. So don't just let Matt Crosby track stuff down from the backside and just continue to put pressure on this defense. I think that'd be the way that I'd say that we definitely need to handle this offense.
Yeah, it just boils down to Max Crosby. You don't let him wreck the game like Jared Verse did last week against us, we should be fine.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan says one of my favorite players getting called up for tomorrow's game, Chris. Who?
Chris Lamons. He got called up.
Chris Lemons.
Yeah.
I wonder who he getting called up for.
He got called up.
We still got Mike Hilton.
Well, he got called up. Daniel Scott got put on IR, and then Abdullah got called up as well.
Yeah, I saw that one. But I wonder why Lamons would get called up, though. It's like, because he didn't get called up last week. We only had Mike Hilton as our only slot corner. So I'm not understanding what he needs to play there unless they're
maybe the situation on the outside with having Edwards probably being the starter as CB2. Maybe Lamons is just a guy to rotate in.
I need Valor to make a move there.
Yeah,
real thin, dog.
Yeah, we definitely need to make a move at corner.
We definitely need to get that going. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some panic or patience. Let's get right back into it. Great topic here. Everybody loved this one last week, so let's jump back into it, man. Again, this goes right back into kind of the same topic that we had last week, except now we got one less player there. This secondary is taking major hits. Kenny Moore is down. Jalen Jones has been down since minicamp. Juju Brents is no longer with us. Um, we also just had Xavier Howard retire. This secondary is getting very thin. Also struggling to some kind of to a certain extent, if you'd like to say. Where are we at on the secondary with all everybody dropping like flies? Obviously, we had some troubles with Xavier Howard. We panic. Are we patient on the secondary?
You know, this is the same panic patience we had last week. Last week, me and Trev both were saying patience, but I'm pretty sure both of us would agree that right now we're kind of panicking when it comes to the secondary. I mean, we don't know who's going to line up as CB2 tomorrow. I think outside of Ward and Hilton, I think we look all right. I mean, I think we look kind of question marks all over the place. So I'm not panicking when it comes to the safeties. It's really just that CB2. I'm gonna panic until Chris Ballard makes a legit move.
Yeah, yeah, I totally hear you. I would love to say patience. My problem is the fact that like the way Lou runs his defense, he can't run it the way he wants to run it when we keep having third string guys coming in off the streets. So this defense is starting to get simplified down when you can't have the players that you need to be able to run the screen correctly. So I'm starting to get to a point where I'm kind of panicking, man. I want to believe in it. I like what we have. Loved Nick Cross, um, Cam Bynum, Ward, and the way Lou is going to call the defense, but it's just like there's gets to a certain point where you're just so injured that your defense ain't gonna be able to recover.
Yeah,
It's gonna get that bad. So definitely started to panic on this secondary.
yeah, and I mean it's unfortunate because this was a room we thought was finally fixed.
Thought it'd be a strength
coming into the season, and now we're looking at it as well, shit.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan says, can Cross play corner? I probably wouldn't move him from corner, but we do know in a real pinch that Cam Bynum has played corner. So if it's ever needed, hopefully he'd be the guy to go out there. I don't want to move too much though. All right, let's get to panic and patience. Number 2, linebackers. This is also on defense, man. Our linebackers are struggling right now. Zaire Franklin is being graded as one of the lowest linebackers right now. I want to say he was I can't remember the exact number, but the PFF grade was not very high. Tackles also has been his thing. He's not ranked very high there as well, which is also kind of a good thing, though, just because our defense isn't on the field all damn day. He ain't got to run around and get tackles all day, so we don't hear Colts fans screaming at him for missing tackles. But they aren't just Bocce is not playing very well right now. We really don't have a lot of linebackers to go to. We just cut Cameron McGrone. How are you feeling about this linebacker core? Are you having patience? Are we panicking?
No, this is a panic. 100% a panic. At least until Carlisle comes back. Bocce, it's not that he doesn't look good. He just looks god awful. Zaire is not Zaire this year. I don't know what's going on with him. I was pretty hyped about him early in the season. He looked like he was going to have, another good season, and then the last couple games he hasn't looked great. We're getting torched in the middle of the field. Linebackers aren't really covering. Their zones aren't great. The tackles clearly aren't there. We're getting tackles by safeties and corners in the box more than we are by linebackers. So, with Kenny Moore and then Nick Cross is doing really well tackling inside the box. So, yeah, no, this is 100% a panic for me.
Yeah, Zaire is also dealing with a ankle injury that he had surgery on, so that doesn't help at all. But yeah, I'm with you. I would really love to have patience, but it's like we don't even know when some of these guys are coming back, such as Jalen Jones and the Carlisle. So I would love to sit here and have patience, but it's like the way I would like to see us trend up is I need this defense to keep playing well, keep doing what they've been doing. We need Latu to keep breaking out. Need this defensive line, which they did play well against the Rams. They played really well. But I would like to see us play much better. Don't want to see this defense get worse, and injuries can catch up to you quickly. So would love to know when we're getting guys back so it can be patience. But It's definitely kind of a panic, especially when you know guys need maybe a game or two to get their legs back under them. So definitely a couple panics on this defense as far as linebackers, and then number two cornerback goes.
I want to say something about Nathan here. His comment about Latu.
Yeah,
Latu had a breakout game against the Rams. I mean, yeah, he had a sack and he had 9 pressures, but I wouldn't really consider it a breakout game. I mean, I think he's having a breakout season. He's been rated very high all season long. So to be completely honest, I mean, can we call it a breakout game? He's just having a breakout season. He's having a hell of a season.
I think people are looking at the sack because the sack and actually having the number two. But like you said, he's been one of the highest rated players, and that's why anytime somebody says something about it, I sit here and say like all he needs to do is just put the sack numbers to it, and then people will finally want to all agree to it. But totally agree with you.
I mean,
He's
I'm
been
okay with the
outside of his one
pressures.
miss game.
I'm okay with the pressures as long as these other guys are cleaning it up. Like he's getting the
Yep,
pressures, but we're not completing the sacks as a collective group, and
that's when
that's
it will
what
hurt.
that's what we need to start doing.
Yep, need somebody else to win, and it's tough when you got to when they're chipping Latu, doubling DeForest Buckner. Somebody else has got to win. They got to win their one-on-one matchup.
100%.
All right, then the last one here on the panic or patience, man. Penalties. We have not been very. I mean, obviously, you guys saw in the chat when the game came on. I immediately was bitching at the back judge. I still think dude had it out for us from the jump of the game. Thought it was a terrible PI call. They called it on Tyler Warren. That should have been a first down. That also ruined our red zone percentages. Um, but we've basically went from the last couple of years being with Steichen, and even goes back to our Frank Wright days. We've been top 5 in like lowest penalties in the NFL. We're sitting at about middle of the league. I want to say we're ranked like 17th in penalties this year. And it doesn't seem that it's getting better. A lot of holding calls, some iffy calls. They're the calls. I can't call them iffy. They're calling them on us. We have to take the penalty, whatever.
I
But just too many penalties that are costing us big plays, and almost every time a penalty comes, it's costing us. So, what do you think about penalties? Do you think we should have some patience? They'll get better. We'll cut those down. Or are we panicking and think that this could be a season-long issue that could bite us?
No, I'm going to be completely honest. I think we need to be patient. I think out of the 4 games, only 2 games were really high in penalties, and I think that's why we're ranked middle of the pack. We also had the 2 games against Miami and Tennessee where we weren't flagged as often as we were against Denver and the Rams, which were close games. I personally, I I don't want to say this, but I think it's an NFL spread thing. Like we've said it before, you play good teams, you're going to get flagged, right? I mean, we had Rock Ya-Sin, who was getting flagged a lot at one point, back when he played for us, and he was getting
Yeah,
flagged a lot, but he was only getting flagged against teams that were like the Chiefs or the
the
Rams or
Ravens.
the Ravens, teams that were, top teams in the NFL. And when you play teams like that, or who were expected to be top teams in the NFL, like Denver, um, you're going to get those flags.
Yeah,
When you're playing good teams, you're going to get those flags. And I think this is one that we can be patient on, because of the fact that, like, it was only really 2 games out of the year that we were flagged a lot.
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. It's tough, man. It's tough because I think we're just gonna play a lot of big games this year. I don't want it to be a a consistent thing, and just like David's saying right here at the bottom, winning team gets calls, and I think that's something that happened with us, like you said, in that week 2 game versus Denver, where ended up being one of the teams that got the call. So I think you definitely talked me off a ledge a little bit there, as far as it can improve, and we can get better. And obviously, the games where we're playing better, we're not getting as many calls, so we're not getting as handsy. We're doing things correctly. So I definitely think it could be something that we improve on. So I think you're right about this one. We'll probably have patience on this one to kind of hold out
I
and see
do.
what we do.
I do want to point out that a lot of our flags have come from Xavier Howard, and now that man's retired, maybe the yellow will go with him.
That's a good point because he was getting a shit ton.
Yeah, especially in the Denver game. I mean, he kept
Yeah.
Denver in the game single handedly. So
3-1 drive for Christ's sake.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's definitely another one there. Um,
I will like to point out too that the Rams were flagged a hell of a lot in that game too. So um,
okay.
they did get a lot of calls that were either questionable or not questionable. I just remember seeing. I don't remember how many penalties they got, but it was pretty much close to what we had.
See, I can look at it right now.
I may be
So,
wrong, but I remember thinking that they were getting flagged a lot too.
yeah, it looks like the biggest discrepancy we had in that game was literally just passing yards, which was 248 to 360. Our 17 first downs to their 24. We were both 4 for 12 on third down. We were 1 for 1 on fourth down. They were 1 for 2. They ran 70 plays on offense. We ran 56, so another big discrepancy there. Um, and then penalties was we had 11 for 88 yards. They had 7 for 63. So I think that game truly came down to, you look at the biggest stat right there is turnovers. We had 3, they had 1. Time of possession was only separated by 3 minutes. So yeah, I think that's right, man. I guess we'll kind of see how that goes and see if the team should be able to correct themselves. As Tate says there, yeah, penalties will add up when you get 3 in a row. Completely agree. All right, man. Well, you want to get into some score predictions, or you have anything else you want to add to this game?
No, yeah, we can get to score predictions.
All right. Well, we had it here going to week 5 versus the Vegas Raiders. I believe some folks already had some predictions up there. I believe somebody had like 30-13 or something like that in here.
31-17, I believe they had.
Or, yeah, something like that. Trev had us losing this week to the Raiders. Oh, wow. Not sure on Zach and Damon. Didn't get a prediction for them on this individual game. I'm gonna go ahead and call mines. I got us winning. I picked us at the beginning of the season as well. I'm gonna say 28-14 Colts.
Okay, I don't remember what I picked us for.
You also picked us to win.
I'm definitely going with a win, but I've got us more in a dominant fashion of a 34-10.
34-10. Would love to see that. That'd be huge bounce back. Tressa says Colts win 34-17, and Mitchell with the dub. That would be nice, man. That would definitely be good. That'd get a lot of Colts fans off of him. He needs it right now for his mental. I know Shane has been kind of iffy on if Mitchell will play this week or he will not. So definitely need that all around, man.
Yeah, I agree. I if I'm him, I've got some packages drawn up just for AD Mitchell.
Definitely would need that, especially because Pittman missed a day this week with a hammy, so it'd be kind of iffy on him. And then Pierce is out as well for this week as well. I also I didn't tell you guys in the chat. I had tweeted it out though. But I was saying I think that it should absolutely be a requirement for Alec Pierce to be required to wear a Guardian cap from here on out. I think it's just best at a certain point when a player gets this many concussions. I think you just got to do the best thing for the player and just protect him, help him protect himself. Just make him wear the Guardian cap, man. I know some people don't like it. Who was it? Romeo Dobbs from the Packers. His head looks 3 times bigger with the damn thing on. But if it's going to keep you from getting concussions and protect your life down the end of the road, man, just go ahead and wear that damn thing.
That one, he also, that hit on his head when he hit that ground, that was a
Twice.
hard-ass hit, too.
Twice.
Yeah, so.
Twice.
I'm surprised.
Just protect yourself.
Surprised that boy woke up.
Yeah, for real. All right, folks. I think that'll do it for us. We're going to let Matt get back to his game, man. Hopefully his Phillies can come back and get this game back within reach. I'm pretty sure it's, 7th inning? Yeah?
Yeah, it's 8th, bottom of the 8th. I mean, it's 5-3. We got Trey Turner on, so tying run is on base. Bryce Harper's up to bat, so
it's still within reach, man. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna shut this one down. Dave said he'd like to see Downs get more down forward shots and hit him down the seam. Yeah, definitely something that we'd like to see more, get Downs more involved. I think just with Tyler Warren being that piece in the middle, it's kind of messing with Downs a little bit. I think we got Downs more involved versus Tennessee, but definitely want to get him back involved with this offense, man. So so appreciate y'all. Appreciate you guys who stuck it out with us. Hopefully, I forgot who it was. Michael in the beginning that was asking some questions. Come back to the end. Got our predictions, but appreciate everybody. And hopefully, a bounce back week for our Colts here this week. Appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good night. And as always,
go Colts.
Go Colts.
Second down, he fakes the Taylor, fires over the middle, completes.